Welcome to Join Our Town. I'm Wendy Mirage Taylor, your host, and today we'll be talking about the topic of minorities. We have with us Mariel Fiori, Managing Editor at La Voz magazine. Welcome, Mariel.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, good to have you here. First, let me begin by asking you to talk a little bit about the Hispanic population in the Hudson Valley. Is there a large population of Hispanics? Has that changed over the last few years?
It has changed. Right now, if you look at the Dutchess County, Ulster, and Orange counties,
Yes.
we have about 100,000 Hispanic people living in the area. 71,000 of them speak Spanish at home.
Wow.
So, there is a huge need for Spanish media.
Sure.
We'll talk about this later
Sure.
if you want.
Sure.
But over the past 6 or to 8 years, the Latino population in the area grew by 44% in those three counties, while
Wow.
the general population only
Yes.
grew by 6%. So even though it's small compared, like other cities like New York City
Right.
or Los Angeles,
Sure.
where the Latino population is much bigger.
Oh, sure. 44% is a
Yeah.
large,
It's
large
It's a
number.
large increase.
Sure.
However, it's about 10% of the population is
Right.
Latino, which
Right.
is less than the national average. But this has brought many problems because the area was not prepared
sure.
to receive people who don't speak English,
Right.
basically.
Sure. Why do you think, based on your involvement in the community, why do you think there has been such an increase, certainly among all the counties, but here in Poughkeepsie and Dutchess County in particular?
Well, it all started about maybe 30 years ago. One person from Oaxaca came and started working in the fields,
Okay.
and they have good luck, they had good jobs,
Mhm.
so they called their friends and family. So
Okay.
because of family reunification, more people came. And now, for instance, in Poughkeepsie, most of the Latinos are from Oaxaca, Mexico, or from other parts in
interesting.
Mexico, but mostly from Oaxaca.
Okay.
You will see some pictures of celebrations of Mexicans in Poughkeepsie that are typically Oaxacan traditions.
Okay, so not that different from other immigrant groups that once, one small group comes and they find a place, then just naturally valuing community, you invite other folks. So that makes
Exactly.
complete sense.
Exactly.
What you mentioned a type of work. Tell me a little bit about what typically are some of the work that immigrants coming into the area might be doing.
Hudson Valley is an agricultural place,
Mhm.
so a lot of immigrants work in the fields or work in landscaping. Many work in restaurants, in the kitchens, washing dishes. As you know, here in the Hudson Valley, we have very good restaurants. We have
Yes.
the Culinary Institute of America. We have a lot of good chefs and very fancy restaurants that
Yes.
are inexpensive compared to what you find in New York City. And thanks for the cheap labor that
Right.
immigrants bring, we are able to have these great restaurants.
Sure.
So they have a big impact in the economy in terms of farm and in terms of good restaurants.
Okay.
A lot of people are also professionals, but most of the Latino population, unfortunately, are either undocumented or with very low levels of education.
Okay.
So that's the jobs they can get.
So that leads me to something that you said initially, is that, as immigrants came here, and specifically Latino Hispanic immigrants, that they found some problems, or I like to call them challenges.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what are some of the specific challenges that the Latino population here has found?
The main challenge is access, and access is due because of language barrier.
Right.
And not a lot of people speak English, or they're struggling to learn English. There are not enough services teaching English as a second language. There are many services, actually. A lot of them are free, but people don't have access to these services. They don't know they exist. So it's
Okay.
important for them to know about this. And there are some services that are not enough. So English lessons is the most important thing. Access to education, access to healthcare. When people go to the doctor, maybe they don't have a translator on site.
Sure.
Or the doctor don't speak Spanish or any other language except
Sure.
English. So statistics show that Hispanic patients who have doctors that don't speak Spanish will forget to take their prescriptions, they will forget their appointments, they will only use
Wow.
ER. But if they have someone on staff that speaks Spanish, they will follow through, and they will have better health care.
Sure. And I wonder if part of that is related not so much to forgetting to take your medication, but possibly not understanding
Exactly.
the instructions
Yeah.
that were given to you. Okay. What are some of the efforts around, the resources that are around to help someone who might be in that situation?
Well, there are some local organizations like Ahora. There's another organization called Somos la llave del futuro, SLF,
Okay.
which means we are the key to the future. So it's
Okay.
a grassroots group of Latino members who have their mission is to build leaders in Hispanic immigrant communities. And so they have promoters, health promoters, people from the community who learn about health issues and then go and tell their friends and neighbors about the health services available in the area. So they learn how to take pressure, they learn about issues concerning diabetes, they also know about contraceptives, a lot of things that have to do with health. This is a program that they learn. You don't need to be a doctor to learn these basic issues.
Sure.
But once they learn, they can go and transmit this information in Spanish to their neighbors. And the neighbors and friends will be more willing to rely or trust someone they know than someone who comes from outside. Hey, you have to do this.
Right,
So,
absolutely,
it's
absolutely.
building
Relationships and
community
rapport, sure,
relationships, yes.
absolutely.